Let's bring in Chief Marketing Strategist and CEO of Market Rebellion, Marc LoPresti, former Republican congressman from New York, Anthony D'Esposito back with us on set, as well as financial markets analyst Mitch Feierstein joining us here. Congressman, I'm going to start with you. I want to get to what Elizabeth Warren was saying, literally predicting doom and gloom. But what I also thought was interesting is the gentleman who heads up Hire Santa, the Santa staffing agency, said, well, Santas just can't get work because of the economy. My guess is it might be because of something else.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that it's pretty clear that not only is Elizabeth Warren a pretty bad senator, she's also not an economist. So that's clear. I think that when it comes to jobs for Santa, I'm not an economist like Mitch, but I don't think that's really going to set the trends of where our economy is going. I think what we need to focus on is that President Trump made it very clear during his campaign that he was going to rein in the golden age of the American worker, and he was going to increase manufacturing and jobs, whether it's in energy, manufacturing, construction right here in the United States of America. We've seen, which is really rare, that especially, someone like me, a pro-labor Republican from New York, I mean, what we saw in support for President Trump from organized labor has been tremendous. And I think that it is clear that President Trump has an agenda, and his agenda is to put America first, put the American worker first, and to bring as much money into this country as we possibly can.
Yeah, Mitch, I'm sorry, Andrew, real quick. Mitch, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Santa thing. And also, I just want to point out, of course, these are just hired Santas for the season, not the actual Santa. Of course, they just help everyone get the job done. It's a big job. But Mitch, we were talking about this a little earlier, that, a lot of it, people just want to blame everything on the economy. Well, this is why, because of the economy. But there might be a consideration, just quickly, that people just aren't celebrating Christmas as much because of that whole woke agenda.
Right. We've already passed peak woke. That's done. Stick a fork in that baby. It's well done. Okay. So yeah, peak woke is over, and I think that the problem with that is that there are still a lot of people out there that are anti-Trump, no matter what he does. You could come up with a cure for cancer. I mean, and the smoke signals coming out of Pocahontas' teepee are all black always, and it's not very good. So what I'm saying is what we're seeing is 27% cumulative inflation from Joe Biden's dumpster fire. And that takes a while to get rid of. So this is what we're seeing when you have a businessman in the White House. Things are changing. It takes gradual changes, but his policies are working. They're working, and we've got to stick with them. And if we do, when the big, beautiful bill tax cuts come next year, we will see the economy take off like a rocket ship.
Marc, bringing you in here, back to the GDP report, 4.3% in the last quarter. It's very, very good news here. But remember all the doom and gloom from economists about the tariff policy. How does that factor into this report?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. First of all, Merry Christmas Eve, and sorry to not be there on set with you and my friend Mitch and the congressman. But I don't think it factors in anywhere near enough. And my position on this may actually surprise you. We do not take into account that we got this GDP number, that we have inflation below 3%, despite the fact that the president has imposed these tariff policies that the left said was going to cause economic chaos. I was on CNN the night of Liberation Day, guys, and every other single person on that panel said, Marc, we're going to be in a recession by June. We're going to be in a deep recession by July. I challenged them. I said, have me back in June, have me back in July. We'll see who's right. Enough with the irresponsible journalism that causes panic selling. And Senator Warren should take a cue from Nancy Pelosi and maybe hang it up after all these years. We're kind of done hearing from her. But the president doesn't get enough credit for these numbers being as strong as they are, despite what is supposed to be inflationary economic policies. Guess what, guys? They're not.
Marc, did any of them invite you back on?
They did. I was on last night, actually, and it came up again.
All right. I respect it. It was not the answer I expected. All right. Want to get to this. This one surprised me. I want to hear what you guys think. All right. A new poll out of Gallup shows the most popular person in the U.S. government, and it may not be who you think. Look at this. According to Gallup, Jerome Powell checks in with a 44% approval rate. The next closest after that, Secretary of State Marco Rubio at 41%. 36% approving of President Trump. Congressman, your take on that?
I'm surprised that many people either knew about Jerome Powell or perhaps they cast their vote for him because they didn't know about him. But I think that it is clear, again, with President Trump and Marco Rubio at the top of that list, that the Trump administration is doing the right job for the American people.
All right, Marc, Mitch, Congressman, as always, thank you so much. Great topics there.